Hello, colleagues. Nice to meet you here on our next event related to the quality assurance topics. Let me introduce our speaker. It's Tatiana Liskovich, who is expert in UAT testing, and she will share today with us her amazing experience related to the organizing UAT process, some best practices, some cases, and some general process description. My name is Andrei Ivanov, and I will be a host today. So let's proceed with our presentation.
Hi, team. Hi, guys. I'm quite happy that you joined today to refresh and maybe get some new experience or knowledge regarding the UAT, and I will be your helper today. So hope you enjoy this event and take something new from this conversation, let's call it conversation. So a few words about me. As you heard from Andrei, I'm Tanya. I have a solid experience in the UAT and not only testing. So I'm working in the IT more than 7 years. And my main, of course, focus is the functional testing. But also I have an experience in the mobile testing and leading not only development testing team, so the testing team within the development team, but also the UAT team. And today we are going to look at several points, I would say the significant and the most important points, and compare what is the difference between the UAT teamwork and the development or classic full stack development teamwork. So we'll refresh our knowledge regarding the acceptance testing. We'll jump into the planning and highlight the key things regarding the planning. We'll compare the team roles and, of course, the most significant and important testing tools, metrics, and all other stuff which can help us to provide the good quality for the customer. And first of all, I want you to write down into the comments what the first word association you have when you hear the UAT abbreviation. So it may be some environment or some other things, some other words, but the first word regarding the UAT association. Let's look into the chat what we have in the comments. Okay, still nothing.
Let's wait a
Please
little
do
bit
not.
for our audience
Yeah,
because some delays with the YouTube streaming. Hey
please do
guys, come
not
on, drop.
hesitate.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Drop just one word. We're waiting for you. Yeah, first comment from Vitaly. Stakeholders don't know how to use their own app. Probably anything else, guys.
Unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah, that's the usual.
That's why I'm quite prepared, I would say. So I had the same question and asked this question, asked my colleagues this question, and built such a word cloud based on their answers. So you can see that the first association may be the focus, planning, quality control, CI/CD pipeline, some end users, and etc. etc. So I believe each of you have different association. Maybe you're quite shy to share it with us, but this is not the end. This is just starting of this event. So maybe by the mid of our conversation, you'll be more active. Please do not hesitate. So I would suggest to look at the ISTQB acceptance testing definition. So please pay attention that the UAT testing, this is about validation and demonstration of the readiness of the application to be used by the end users. Of course, meeting the business needs, meeting the business goal. And the UAT may, or user acceptance, may be performed and may consist of different forms. So here are some of the examples. You can see the main forms of the acceptance testing. And I believe with some of them, you have already faced. So as beta testing, the mobile applications, for example, in a beta version. So you may decide, and that will be the very true that you are performing the acceptance testing, because this is the beta version and you're trying the new application, etc. But today we're going to speak about the UAT, and I want to share with you the example from my experience with all the players who took part in the delivery process. So here you can see that there are 5 players, not even 2, not 3. And let me quickly jump from team to team to explain a bit from the testing perspective what the activities they are performing. So first of all, the classic full stack development team. They are creating the requirements on the user story level, for example, functional requirements, etc. Of course, writing the code and implementing, sorry, the features. So they're providing all levels of the testing, different testing types, etc. And even regression. This is the responsibility of the development team. But if you look to the UAT team, you see that the requirements analysis is also included there, but it will be business requirements analysis and the creation of the user scenarios. So no need to the UAT team to do the same testing as the development team doing. The main focus, the end users behavior and the difference of the testing scope. So here you can see that the release delta testing on a separate environment. The UAT team usually are performing just delta. So this is the features from previous release to new release. So in case, let me share the example with you. In case in release A, we have feature 1, 2, 3. So the UAT team is performing the testing of this 1, 2, 3 feature. The next release, we have feature 4, 5, 6. It means that the UAT team is performing the testing only of the 4, 5, and 6 feature, taking into account and assuming that all the previous features are already tested and work as expected. In case some regression is needed, so it may be included into the UAT team work activities, but this is not very often case. So it all depends. And then the focus group. It may be included, as here on the example, may be not included into the delivery process. But anyway, so based on my experience, these are the people who usually work with the application on a daily basis. They are performing their job, and this application is a great tool to fulfill their tasks, for example, or to do their job. Yeah. So this focus group usually consists of several people because these people have to spend their time not only for their daily work activities but also to provide some kind of a testing before the release on test environments. And the focus group also may be involved into the testing during the release on release date on production. So the product management team, or usually we call this team as clients, So please take note that in the future, when I say that the product management team, I mean this is the client who is the owner of the application. So the product management team also may be included into the testing activities during the release day on production environment. So here you can see that there is no need to the product management team to perform much testing on the UAT, but they can, of course. It all depends on the wishes and some other dependencies, for example. But usually UAT team have no, or any testing team, have no access to production environment testing with the real data. That's why some smoke, where it's possible, is provided by the product management team. And the end users, of course, who are satisfied with the application, have some, I don't know, good mood and a celebration, like, wow, new version is much better than the previous. There are so many new features. Let's use it. Let's do it. Great. So one more time, the focus of the testing, as I mentioned, the classic full stack development team uh, are providing the testing of all levels of functional testing, may use different types of testing, no limitations, and of course regression, while the UAT team is focused on the wishes and expectations of the end users and business, of course. And here we are going to dive into the one of the main, I would say, point regarding the UAT teamwork. This is the planning. So the first point here, before we are speaking about the scope, as you can see here, I want you to pay attention that the UAT team is not the universal soldiers who can do anything in a short period of time. Of course, they can, but this is not the very good, I would say, way to work. So, of course, the UAT team, as all the others and teams, need to plan, and we'll focus on the most important points to provide the timeline regarding the UAT teamwork here. But of course, there may be much more. So first of all, the scope. If we plan in the release, the scope should be confirmed without further major changes, updates, and so on. So the client is providing us the scope, confirmed scope. And of course, there may be some small changes based on capacity, of course, but the main goal of the release and the main scope should be confirmed, not only for development team, but for the UAT. The next one, also very significant thing based on my experience. I even can say that I have a lot of a lot of stories regarding the development team commitment, and you as testers working in the different teams probably understand why I'm smiling now. Sometimes it is quite hard to meet the commitment by different reasons, which may not depend on the development team. But anyway, commitment for the requirements freeze and for the code freeze. So let's imagine the situation that we plan the work without development team commitment. And the next phase after the development, this is of course UAT testing. Yeah. So what does it mean? Uh, in case UAT team commits to the release date and there is no commitment from the development team, this is a crucial situation, I would say, catastrophic, because if dev team without commitment will delay the features implementing the UAT team who committed to the release date will have much less time to perform testing of a good quality. So please pay attention. Dev team commitment is one of the significant thing here, and requirements, of course, because in case they are changing and changing and changing requirements, it means that the new circle of development is started. So who wants it? No one. Okay, the environment. I believe most of you have the UAT environment on your projects. And usually this is a very, I would say, secret environment, and only few people have access to this environment. So this is, some magic environment is quite important for the UAT team. It should be independent, and the data of on this environment should be very close to production to imitate the end user's behavior. And the last one, but not the least, but this is the estimation. So the UAT team is providing estimations as well. It is important to estimate the future scope, which we have already confirmed, to know the dates where the cut freeze from the development team will be, and have the ready environment, and then the estimations may be provided. I want to pay your attention on the buffer. So it may be that the bug on the UAT is found during the last day of the testing, and the next day is a release date. So in case we don't have this buffer, it will be a real problem. Probably release date will be delayed, and this is not so good. So usually take in account the buffer should be added to the UAT phase testing. And one more thing here, I want to pay your attention that the UAT team have no developers. So in case the bug is found, it should be sent to the development team, investigated probably, uh, fixed, to be fixed, sorry, tested by the development team, and only then this fix will appear on the UAT in case it is decided to take this fix into the release, the current release. So it takes some time, and better to have the buffer to prepare the user guides, to ensure that everything works as expected, to have all the fixes on time and go to the release. And here you can see the timeline example on a real project, I would say. Of course, you will not see here some significant date. This is the imitation, I would say, how it may be how the UAT team and the development team collaborate and work during the releases. So you see that it may be that some releases are overlap, like the hot fix to the major releases. What does it mean? So the UAT team is stopping or just send some of the testers or team members to perform the testing of the hotfix release or some small release. And also, I want to pay your attention. You see, while the UAT team is working on the current release, for example, 23.2, the next release is already in work for the development team. So there is no such a situation while the development team have done their job and then just waiting for the UAT team. No, of course not. We're working simultaneously, but the tasks will be different for us. And as I mentioned before, regarding the team roles, I would say, I want to pay your attention to the teams and the consistency of the teams. So you see that there should be the strong management. Of course, when we're speaking about the UAT, this is always about the strong management. This is the negotiations regarding the release dates, the commitments, the timelines, and of course, the strong project manager or delivery manager should be involved into the UAT team as a strong leader. The product owner also may be included, why not? And even business analysts and automation QAs. But you see that there is no developers. And I want to pay your attention here in frame, I would say, of the testing, yeah, from testing perspective. The business analysts, these are not the people who only can work with requirements. They also may be involved into the testing, but as any other role, uh, business analysts should have testing basis knowledge. Without this knowledge, it will be not so efficient, I would say, and will not bring much value. And I want to pay your attention also to the automation QAs, who can may be good helpers for the UAT. Of course, they should be introduced into the development team to provide good level of testing. And they may help the UAT to be insured, reinsured that the build is quite stable and the UAT may be started. And I would say even more. It all depends regarding the style, I would say, of the automation performing during the implementation. So in case, for example, we're working on the sprints, and during this sprint, the automation testing team is implementing the tests for the current sprint, sorry. So why not? This is great for UAT also because it covers a lot of small things which may be missed just because of the focus. Okay, so but don't please scared that there is no any developer in the UAT team. Uh, it's quite normal. We don't need them. Let's say hi to them, but do our job. Yeah, let's imagine the situation. And here I want you to interact with me in the comments now. So the situation is the first point. Product management team or client just allows the UAT team to suggest some new enhancements for the application, to create usability bugs, to suggest some new design or some kind of this. So any notions, I would say, any new things which would make the application better. At the same time, the development team created such a long chain of communication. So to confirm each new bug or each new enhancement the UAT team sees and wants to implement is such a long thing. So what can happen? Okay, Andre, please help me here in case you see some comments from the guys.
Sure, but nothing for now, and probably they didn't catch you in the last 5 seconds. Please repeat your question once again.
Okay, okay, okay. So what can happen in case the product management team allowed to suggest some new features, enhancements, and etc. But development team built such a long chain of communication that it takes so much time. So, and each enhancement and bug would take days, I would say, maybe weeks. So, how in the future, it may influence to the product.
Okay, guys, don't hesitate to drop your comments here. But I think in general, it is like a general approach. Longer we
Fortunately.
split the process, yeah, and make it longer and longer, that means that we have still less time for all activities, including testing, UAT, or anything else in post-production and marketing. Yeah, I see some comments from our auditory. Dmitry says that it is overlapped deadlines, and Vitaly said
Mhm.
that main release delay because of the major changes later on. No one will suggest any improvement.
Yes, this is the perfect because it is not only demotivating the UAT team and all the teams. Yeah, they're suggesting something new. It didn't take in any account, and we're returning to these topics in a weeks, which is not interesting, I would say, maybe in a long-term period. So, and also it may delay the release, which is very significant and important. And that's why I want to share with you the next slide. So, well-known players, well-known teams, and the importance of the collaboration between all of these teams. So let's start with the development team, and I didn't include here the implementation itself because it is known fact, yeah, but mostly focusing on the close to release period of time. So the development team, of course, there should be strong and good communication with the UAT team. In case some bug is found, of course, the first, I would say, helper here, this is the development team and the UAT team and the collaboration there. I said the same, I'm sorry. Well, and who else? Of course, client. So we are receiving the requirements from the client and from the end users, of course, but through the client, I would say. And that's why what the client wants, it should be done. But what about the UAT? You see that the UAT is already communicated with the development team. Who else? Again, product management team, of course, and the focus group. But here you can notice that the focus group communication from the UAT team is a bit different. So it works into the one side, I would say. Why it happens? So as you remember, this is just an example. And the main goal of the UAT team to help the focus group with some documentation, some scenarios, some user guides, and etc. But the back communication is going through the client. So you see, in case something is not okay, this is the new requirement to the product management team. And then all the other players are taking some tasks from the client, from the product management team. And users, of course, they are providing the feedback, of course, providing to the owner of the application, and that's how all the other players may receive some information regarding the application quality, or not only quality, but the attitude and the feelings itself. So here I want to think you about the tools which the development team is using and the UAT team. So let's jump. So you could guess that the UAT team has a lot of limitations. And to be honest, just answer in the chat. Will be the end users using the application while requesting some APIs or going to the database? What do you think? Okay, Andre.
Once again, yeah, don't hesitate to drop your opinion. You're thinking about that questions. Let's help our speaker uh, to understand the process better. Probably you know better than she. But let's check.
Okay, guys, it's just Wednesday. This is not Friday, not Monday.
Yeah, but
Don't be
a lot
shy.
of meetings. We need to hear you in the background, and probably we have no time to
As
drop
usually.
even one word. Yeah, but let's wait a couple of seconds more. I see that we have a top chapters for today.
Yay!
Probably they help us. Oh, still not nothing. Okay,
Okay.
let's proceed with your sort. Probably
I believe
they will take it later.
I believe this is the evidence that the end users just want to use the application without any helping tools. And sometimes it may be that the UAT team may use some specific, I would say, tools for testing in case the application itself is focused for such a specific thing. So, for example, if this is the application which performance testing, yeah, so probably the focus group here is the testers, yeah, and the end users are the testers who will perform performance testing. So in such a case, of course, it may be, but in most of the cases, if we're speaking about the web application, what the UAT team can do, just use the browser adapt tools and not usual, I would say. It depends on the requirements. And some accessibility testing extensions, for example, because you know the accessibility is quite important. And here I want you to pay attention. Give me a second. Okay. To the metrics which are important and cannot be skipped by the UAT team. You'll know that the development team are using defect containment rate, yeah? But the UAT team should use it also. And this may be a good proof, I would say, that the builds, in case it happens, of course, which were deployed to the UAT environment are not of the good quality. So if we speak about the defect containment rate, you all know that this is the 95% or more, and it means usually it means that the quality of the application is quite good. But what if the UAT team is calculated how many bugs and the percentage of these bugs found during the UAT phase? So why not? That's how the UAT team can prove that the testing they are providing is quite efficient and needed. Yeah. Of course, bugs, severity, and priority. Again, the same reason I would say, because in case something very crucial, very serious found during the UAT phase, it may be a reason that something was not done on a very good level on the stage before. And of course, test coverage. Test coverage is important to prove that the testing was performed on the good level. There is no any functions or features of the application which were missed. Of course, if it is agreed that something is skipped for the UAT. And you see here only 3 metrics, but in real life, you know that it may be much more. It all depends on the situation. So please take in account in case you see the problem, you are introducing the appropriate metric. And then in the dynamic, you should notice uh, what is the problem about and the rate with the taken actions. Is it improved or not? So very, very standard thing. I'm sorry for this, but I cannot just stay calm and want to want to say this. Okay, so let's look, please, at the points which we have already discussed today, and remember the key highlights for the efficient UAT testing. First of all, this is the strong knowledge of the business process and the UAT process. Proper planning, commitment, estimation, scope, agreement regarding environments, and re-agreeing, renegotiation, I would say. Uh, Pay attention. This is quite important for the successful release. Collaboration and collaboration flow. Very important to be on time, to be successful, to provide good quality. Key metrics to prove the quality. Strong management and of course good communication skills. Here I want to pay your attention that the UAT, this is the phase, I would say, where you may face and you may be introduced into the new for QA world. Sorry. So you'll face with a very experienced people, maybe with a very high titles, and uh, you are the face of the future application. What do I mean here? You providing the testing, you're committing, sorry, that everything will be okay, and good communication may help not only during some negotiations, but to build the trust between the UAT team and the client. So remember about this. And the last point here I want to share with you, I thought about it, I would say much time, who may be interested working in the UAT team. And I want to pay your attention that not all testers will be quite, will feel quite good and very motivated working in the UAT team, because this is very specific, I would say, testing. So, of course, people who want to get new experience, new skills, and to see how the delivery process works as a whole circle, I would say, starting from the development and by the release and even post-release activities. Yeah, of course, these are testers who like to work on the with the user scenarios. And scenarios testing, you know that it may be by role, soap opera, for example, and such, and so on. So the people who like such a long-term and very close to the end user's behavior. Business analysts who would like to become the future business consultants and suggest some new ideas, some new resource maybe to the client. Of course, future product owners. And I have an experience where the people from my team grew up to the product owners. They're performing their work very, very good, and they're sharing the experience that working as a part of the UAT team helped to learn the business and to understand the needs. So take a note. And future project managers, delivery managers by the same reason. So this is the way how to see how works the whole I would say, release process. And Andrei, while we are very close to the end of my long speech. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to share more and more, but we're quite limited in time. I believe that I can move the slide to the next one, and you'll share with us the next event.
Yeah, this is an amazing opportunity for our audience to register and attend on our next event, which is a product of this amazing collaboration between Andersen IT community and Propolity community. So please join us. I assume that Andersen community will drop the link to the registration right now in the chat, or you can scan QR code on our screens, on your screens, and of course, we will see with you on next week with the next topic related to the embedded system and testing of the systems. And of course, please give me a small favor, because we prepare such amazing topics for you, and don't hesitate to press subscribe button, press like button, and of course join in the description to this video a little bit down, and go to the Propolity community links and subscribe us as well. So, and as we said, it's time to Q&A session, and I see the first question. It is related to your previous couple of slides. Probably it is. It would be easier if you return back. I assume it was a slide related to the metrics. And question is, could you advise what do you mean by test coverage here? Unit test case coverage, AKA test case coverage, or anything else?
Okay, so here we're speaking, the unit test coverage. This is mostly, I would say, the developer's work, and it can be provided on the UAT phase. Yeah, but here as we're speaking about the scenarios, and you know that there is one requirement. It means that as a standard, at least one test scenarios should be created for this requirement. So if we speak about end-to-end, such kind of requirements may be included into the end-to-end, and that's pretty okay if we have the one scenario, but a lot of requirements covered there. And also pay attention that the traceability matrix can help much here. So this is the proof and the map, I would say, how to show, yeah, that we have covered enough. So one requirement, at least one case to check, but I don't want to be here too strict, to be honest, because it all depends on the teams. So it may be agreed during the some test strategy, creating that the test coverage may be in some cases 80%, for example, something impossible to introduce on the UAT, and some kind of such checks. But one requirement, it means one test case or one test scenario should be mapped to this requirement. So in such case,
at least I assume, yeah.
At least, of course. So this is not the best way to create just one test scenario per each requirement and say that we have 100% coverage. So there may be some questions.
It's a standard because metrics means how you calculate it, not.
Yeah.
Not what, yeah. Okay. Thank you for your answers, guys. So don't hesitate to drop your questions. I still check the chat, and we'll address your questions to our speaker. But we have a pretty general question for you, Tatiana. Does it really need to perform UAT process for the whole project? Because it's some kind of specific problem. Not all our auditory, well, it is not well-known process. What do you think?
It depends. Of course, from my experience, it must be in every team. It must be to have a good quality control on several phases of the application. But if we speak about the startup, for example, who are performing the features very, very quickly and releasing very, very quickly. So the UAT here maybe not very efficient, I would say, and the MVP phase as well. But of course, I would recommend to have 100% of applications included, including the UAT phase testing, because this is the protector from some bugs and some unexpected scenarios on production. You need to understand, sorry that I'm jumping here, but you need to understand that the development team who usually work with functional requirements have a bit different mind regarding the features. So we are checking the, for example, yeah, the input boundary values, which real user, this is a rare case, I would say, yeah, but there may be some very important scenarios for the end users which may be missed by the development team. So better to have.
Yeah, and we have a pretty the same question, but related to my previous question. It is about risks. What risk to the product do you see in not using UAT when the features tested on stage immediately go on production?
To be honest, this is the thing which I said. So just because of the mindset, oh my God, I'm sorry, I talk too much today. My,
This last
just
last
because of the
chance to
point of
finish.
view, yeah. Yeah, just because of the point of view and the main focus of the development team, some very significant ways of using the application may be missed just because of different focus. And the UAT team, those are the people, those are the testers, the team who is focused to think the same way as the end users think. So it may prevent to create, for example, this is very, very, very bad case, but anyway, it may be in a theory, of course, that the application is implemented, but it is not meeting the end user's expectation. So who needs this application then? Nobody.
Okay, great. And one more question. I think that it is pretty interesting. Why the team cannot attend in UAT if they know all usage process based on the requirements?
Why the team? Could you repeat, please? Because I didn't hear you because of the
Why
echo.
the okay, sure. Why development team cannot attend in UAT
Got you.
process? Yeah, if they know all usage process based on the user scenarios that probably provided by some kind of product
The same
management.
reason. The same reason. So usually, I believe you faced with the situation or heard about this that the same team who performed the development provided the UAT as well. I would be very, very attentive to such way of work because usually the QAs who tested the application before use the application the way as they have as a habit, I would say, or how they tested it before, focusing on some small things, very detailed, and etc. And one of the best case here as I mentioned in the very beginning of the presentation, to have independent team. Uh, Even it is possible and will be the better case to ask the neighbor team of the same project who are doing another features to ask their testers to provide the UAT, because they are very fresh. They didn't meet application or such features before, and they have a new, I would say, side uh, how it may work or should work. Uh, in case of a separate team, that would be the best case, of course. Let's see, because we have a SWOT to perform the UAT testing, but sometimes it is not so possible.
Yeah, it does look like a well-known joke about the QA who is joining the bar and orders some beers. And after all that process, the simple user joins the bar and asks where is toilet, and something amazing happened in that case.
Yeah, broken glass,
Yeah,
drunk glass, but what about the toilet?
yeah. Okay, I don't see any questions for now in the chat, but guys, don't hesitate to drop your questions, probably even in a comment, and we will ask on them a little bit later, because it is time to send thank you, to send a great thank you for our amazing speaker of this day, and
Thank you.
great thank you for all of you who joined us today in that probably difficult time to join in the middle of week day and in the middle of week in general. But anyway, thank you all. As I said, don't hesitate to join us on our next event. And if you like this event, this webinar, please subscribe on the channel, join our partners, push your likes, drop your comments, help to promote this interesting topic to other audience who will join us or probably already with us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. See you guys.